Hello everyone, today I'm back with the Avatar-scape and we're going to do a couple things. First of all, you guys had lots of interesting questions in the comments of the first video, so I'm going to answer those, and I'm going to also make some adjustments to the scape, and for that I have a bunch of roots and also a couple of mirrors. So let's see my struggles. Okay, so this one is there permanently. Oh, bleh. Let's start with the first question, and then the rest I'm going to answer throughout the whole video, so stick around. And for the questions I'm going to need my phone, and let's see, it's a Wallpaper Wednesday wallpaper from Green Aqua. So first question from Phoenix Star. Will you do one based on Avatar 2 now? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, let's see in the future. Maybe when Avatar 3 is coming out, we're going to do an Avatar 2 scape for that occasion. I wouldn't want to see the two next to each other right away. So I'm going to start with the mirrors, and yeah, the video guys already hate me because of the lights it makes. Please check Juan Puchades' workshop he did for us. He had a seminar about his IAPLC scape from last year, and he used mirrors in the back of the tank, which actually made the tank continuous.
How I did that effect in both caves, with a mirror in the back, inside the tank, but in the back. Some technique that doesn't yet been used. It has been used in the floor, but not in the back.
You don't see where the back of the tank is, and that's something I want to achieve with the mirrors in this scape. If you just look at the Hardscape, it has quite a lot of depth, but the back destroys it. Another one from the Watcher. Fantastic work, Tommy, but if ever a scape was crying out for a blue skylight screen, this is it. How about it, Green Aqua, put a light screen on this tank to take it to the next level? Well, not a light screen, but we're going to do a lot of things to improve the background of this tank today. We just purchased some frameless mirrors from IKEA. Obviously they are not cut to size, so I'm not even sure how they're going to fit behind the Hardscape. So this is going to be trial and error. From certain angles, I actually see the top of the mirror, so I see a big cut and the background behind that. And I think I'm gonna use some plants to hide that. Sorry to interrupt. Here's another question from GWN Ricardo. Damn, that looks so good, but one question, why no blue fish though? Well, the fish selection, this is something that a lot of you guys understood, and a lot of you were missing the blue ones. Of course, in the Avatar movie, the Avatar the Navis, they are called, they are blue. But there are the banshees, the dragon-like flying stuff they use to move around. The fish supposed to be representing those. We actually have some blue shrimps inside to reflect the Navis. Okay, so I have the Fontinalis on top of the mirror. You have to be careful with the angle, how the mirror stands, because obviously from some angles, even through water and the front glass, you could see yourself. Depends on where I look at it from. I don't think it's possible to put in the mirrors in a way that you never see yourself independent of where you're looking at it from. While I'm doing this, there's actually another topic which was, well, it came up in the comments multiple times. People saying that this has already been done. It's true. I never said that no one ever did an avatar-themed aquascape or terrarium or whatever. I just wanted to give it a go myself and figure out my own system to do it. And well, I don't even want to say if this is better or not than the others. It's just different. It's not going to work in the middle. It's so tight behind the hardscape that I can't put it in an angle. I think we're going to do something with lights in the middle. We should call Hitan for a nice little sunset. So I got a few pieces of Seiryu stones which the hardscape was built from to put in the back to elevate the mirrors. You can buy really small pieces of Seiryu stones in ½ liter form, which you can use for details, or you can use it like I'm going to use it now to elevate mirrors. Ah, it just fell in. I can't reach it anymore. It's from SCAPE. The SCAPE looks great. There's a lot of work surely. I wonder about the maintenance. How long can such SCAPE be kept nice? Well, if I remember correctly, the SCAPE is running for 3.5 months now, and one of the simplest setup to maintain in the gallery. We have no idea why. Usually by this time we have lots of green spot algae and so on in Seiryu scapes, but this one just works. Yeah, there's a weird magic thing going on with this one. Okay, so this one is there permanently. This part would be the most important to cover with the mirror. This is the most disturbing, where you can see the end of the tank, but I can't find a way where I can fit it in an angle so I can clearly see myself, which is not good. Time for another question. This one from Killer Reptiles. How well does the Terratape hold up over time? Never heard of it before. Well, Terratape got released 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's quite long now, and we've used it a lot of times ever since and never had any issues with it. It holds up really well, even in long times. Option number 2, we actually have a light behind this. I'm not happy about this. Is there a way that that light could actually work? Light doesn't directly hit the mirrors, so I don't think we're gonna have algae issues with them. Jane Healy. Gorgeous. Question. What was the time delay between planting and the final shots with the guppy inhabitants? We usually introduce the fish after about 2 weeks of setting up the tanks, and yeah, the final shots are made for every video about 2, 3, 4 weeks after the initial build is done. This is the ancient root from Vio, which Balazs used in his setup. I don't put too much thought into how I put these in, the ancient roots. Wherever I already had some roots, I just dug them in to give them more detail. If I would have put in such small pieces, it would have been a nightmare to maintain the tank if there would have been any need for scraping algae off the rocks. One from Garrett Peterson. What would bring this to the next level is adding fish and even plants, if there are any, that glow in the dark with specific lights, all to bring out the night effect from Avatar. I'm not sure if there are any fish or plants that are like that. Probably, well, there are the type of fish that are actually, how do I put this, manufactured to be like lighting. We don't agree with that. That's not natural and it's not a humane thing to do to a fish. If the tank would be standing on its own and we would turn off the regular lights and use some UV lights, we would probably see some different colors on the fish, but not in an environment like this. What we didn't talk about before is actually how the plants turned out on the bottom, which I quite like. If you remember, I put in lots of different species, but it actually recreates the jungle feeling that I wanted. It's a mix of plants, they are perfectly fine with each other. The only trimming we needed to do was the Hygrophila pinnatifida, which we're going to continue trimming regularly to keep it as short as possible. That's it for today. Maybe we're going to have another video. I think we might have a cinematic later on, once I'm perfectly happy with the tank. I put in a couple rocks on the bottom, I put in the mirrors, put in the light. Still there might be some, I don't know. I think we're gonna work on that. Thank you for all the comments and questions. Please keep them coming. Let me know what you think about all the modifications that I've done. Let me know if you like the light or you would like to see a different solution for that. And yeah. Question from James M. Where did you get that spoolie snail shirt though? Well, you guys asked so much about my t-shirts that we decided to list out the sites where I purchase most of my shirts from. This is not sponsored, I buy my own stuff, but here you go, you can find probably everything that I wear. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me and see you next time. Goodbye.